Today on Commander Replay, we're back with some more Athreos Shroud Veiled and find ourselves in an epic Archenemy match against Polukranos, Vilis, and Drakuseth. Can we fight our way through 3 opponents? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. And be sure to use the TCG affiliate player link as it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Athreos Shroud Veiled today, taking another look at this one. Let's take a look at this opening hand. We've got 3 lands. Ooh, Mana Crypt into Smothering Tithe. This should go well. We've got a Plague Crafter, Altar of Dementia, Sack Outlet. This is like everything we want except for card draw. That's the one thing that we're missing right here, but hopefully we'll find some. If not, we can just try to value our way into... Oh my, that's an Eldrazi Displacer. This is a really good hand. I don't know how much better they actually get than this, so... Start with that Mana Crypt. Let's get a Polluted Delta. Crack a Polluted Delta. Get a Godless Shrine tapped. Play the Altar of Dementia. And that's a pretty good turn 1. Here comes a Shadow Spear for Champion. So take a look at what we're playing. We're playing Athreos Shroud Veiled. It's 4 white-black for a 4/7. Indestructible, is not a creature if your devotion to white and black is less than 7. At the beginning of your end step, put a coin counter on another target creature. Whenever a creature with a coin counter on it dies or is put into exile, return that card to the battlefield under your control. It's a little bit slow, but it's a pretty crazy ability, especially once you get into the late game. Because after that, any kind of removal, and you're basically just going to control the best creature on the board all the time. Opponents need 2 pieces of removal to be able to get rid of something, and that's a hard thing to do. Like, that's not something that comes up all that often, especially as you get later into a game where... you know, people have already used a lot of their removal, unless they've, like, drawn 10 or 15 cards. Chances are they probably don't have 2 pieces to get rid of whatever creature you're trying to keep control of. So, kind of a slow but powerful in the late game type of commander. And I'm sure there's some faster builds you can make with it, but I've got kind of a high mana cost ETB thing that I'm doing right here. Anyway, brings us back to our turn. There's Mana Crypt flip. Let's go for tails. We won the flip. Opponents are probably not going to be excited to see the Smothering Tithe coming down. Say, yay, fair magic. This is pretty bad. They need removal. Drakuseth could have artifact removal. Polukranos could have removal for anything. Vilis, probably going to have a tough time with both of those, especially early in the game. There's a treasure token for us. We'll take a look at what our opponents are playing. There's a Bitter Blossom for opponent. First up, we have Champion of Thune piloting Polukranos Unchained. There's some abilities on this thing. It's 2 black-green for a 0/0, enters the battlefield with 6 +1/+1 counters on it. If it escapes, it enters the battlefield with 12 +1/+1 counters on it instead. If damage would be dealt to Polukranos while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that many counters from it. Pay 1 green-black, Polukranos fights another target creature, and then it has escape for 4 green-black, exiles 6 other cards from your graveyard. This thing has a ridiculous amount of abilities on it. I haven't been following Standard at all, but Polukranos to me screams like the type of card that just dominates Standard. Again, I don't know what's going on in Standard right now, but you look at a 4-drop with that many abilities with, you know, recursion and its removal and it's hard to kill, and that just screams Standard All-Star to me. And I mean, probably can make a home for itself in some other formats too. Pioneer, Modern, if you can slow Modern down enough. I could see it in a Jund deck like 5 years ago. I haven't been following Modern that much either. Does everyone just die on turn 3 now? I have no idea, so... But there's an absurd number of abilities on that card, so yeah. Anyway, that brings it back to our turn. Drakuseth did lay down a Strionic Resonator before they passed. And with all of that, let's get our commander into play. Someone played an Urborg, so we don't even have to crack our fetch. That's cool. And I think that's good for now. Champion of Thune said, Archenemy activated. Yeah, that's fair. And with that being the case, I think this is going to be an Archenemy kind of game, because we have all the mana. We're going to need to find some card draw. We're not in a position where we can like really take on all of these opponents yet. Now, Playcraft or Eldrazi Displacer is the type of thing that really keeps things from getting out of control. and would be an absolute headache for our opponents, but we'll see what happens. Some removal somewhere could, throw a wrench in our works, and we'll need to be careful about that. More treasure tokens for us. Sensei's Divining Top for the Vilis. Spin the top, probably looking for the land. Apparently misses the land, or maybe sets it on top and is willing to eat the land loss for this turn. Here comes a Burnished Heart for opponent. Oh, we could be a dick and play the Playcrafter. That is a thing that we could do. Mana Crypt flip on us. Let's go, Tails. A 1 the flip. That's an Eerie Interlude. Yep, that's a pretty good card. Play this Tainted Field. Oh, man, if we could get... Ooh. We don't have time to put the counter on Burnished Heart. That would be so sweet if we did, though. Let's play this Playcrafter. I guess that's probably like the one balancing thing about this Athreos card is that it happens at the end step, so plays like this, sorcery speed plays, you can't just grab the best thing immediately. So then we'll play the Eldrazi Displacer. We'll go to the end step and we'll put a counter on it. Yeah, that was a savage play blowing up the heart, I know, but it's also like we're far enough ahead where we just are the target, so it's kind of like by being this far ahead, we have to keep our opponents behind. It feels terrible. I know it does. Like, I've had it happen. It's the worst. Especially when your commander is Drakuseth and, you're trying to get a lot of mana into play quickly. Yeah, I feel bad about it, but this is what happens when Mana Crypt and Smothering Tithe are in an opener. Things get wild. Again, we still have that problem of card draw. If we could find, like, any kind of card draw, that's where we need to be right now. We can also blink the tokens. Get rid of the tokens with the Displacer. Opponent draws with the top, triggers a Smothering Tithe. We have so much Smothering Tithe mana. 6 tokens right now. It is turn 4. That is a lot of mana early. Here's a Chrome Mox for opponent, so not a land, but some type of mana production. Puts a Promise of Power under there. Oh, I would love a Promise of Power right now. Did I put Promise of Power in this deck? It's a card that's been losing value. Yeah, there's a Promise of Power in this deck. Card that's been losing value just a little bit with the game speeding up. I'm still a big fan of Ambition's Cost and Ancient Craving. Those ones are on curve the right way, but Promise of Power can be a touch slow. It's also the triple black, especially as you're getting into multicolor decks. Triple black can be a thing depending on your mana base. If you've got like full fetches and duels and shocks and all that stuff, it's probably not too bad, but if you're running a lot of basics, it can definitely be an issue. There's a Koth the Hammer. Yeah. Koth makes mana. Well, a little mana. It untaps a mountain. Oh, you can also add red for each mountain you control. Yeah. So, opponent's going to tick up the Koth. Is that an end of turn? Until end of turn. Yep. But it untaps the mountain. Mountain in our way. Yep, we're just going to... We don't have any colorless mana, so we can't blink it. We'll just take the 4 on that one. Brings it back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Looking for big draws right here. 1 the flip. Solemn Simulacrum is a card. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. I'm going to... What am I going to do? I want to leave some colorless mana up for the Eldrazi Displacer. Oops, I cracked the fetch. I didn't mean to crack the fetch. We're just trying to use the Urborg and clicked on the wrong one, but no big deal. Get the Scrubland. I'm just going to use some treasures right here. We're so far ahead on mana. And again, wanted to leave up that colorless. We can do some ridiculous things with this Solemn Simulacrum. So, Solemn Simulacrum into play. We'll use the ability to ramp. There's an Urborg in play, so I guess get a Plains. Although there's a lot of black costs in this deck, so we'll probably still want to get some swamps anyway. We're gonna attack the Koth and just try to tick it down, keep it off of the minus and the ultimate. So Koth down to 1. Go to the end step. Get a coin counter on the Solemn Simulacrum. I guess before anyone untaps or anything, we'll use the Altar of Dementia. Who we milling? Mill the red deck, I guess, right? Sacrifice the Solemn Simulacrum. So we get to draw a card. It's a land. Athreos returns a Solemn Simulacrum. Use the ability. Get ourselves a swamp. And Altar of Dementia will mill fish for 2. Oh, we could mill... Ooh. We could mill the Divining Top away from Camlic. That's a thing that we could do. I'm going to think about that one for a moment. We could sacrifice our Eldrazi Displacer to do it. Also, if you're hearing any noise in the microphone, there's construction going on outside my house, and I thought I had timed this that they'd all be on lunch break right now, but apparently someone's still working, so whoops. There's a Victim of Night on the Solemn Simulacrum, so we're just going to have to go ahead and blink the old Solemn Simulacrum. So Solemn Simulacrum will re-enter the battlefield tapped. We will draw a card, or we will get a land, rather. Let's get another swamp. Victim of Night will fizzle. Opponents acknowledging that Displacer and Solemn Simulacrum probably going to take over this game. Yep, that they are. That they are. The thing we're really missing, like, right now is just something big, something that does damage and wins us the game. Opponent plays a Cultivate, gets themselves some lands. For the end step here, I'm going to use Altar of Dementia to mill away the Divining Top. We're going to have to sacrifice the Displacer to do it. It has a coin counter on it, so it'll come back. We mill Divining Top, Leyline of the Void, ooh, that's a good one, and a Mutilate. But more importantly, Divining Top gone, and that's the one we wanted out of here. Bitter Blossom trigger for our opponent. Opponent's gonna Doomblade the Eldrazi Displacer. Well, we don't want any of that, so I think it's Eerie Interlude time. That was something I did think about briefly, that by doing that, we would open Displacer up to removal. But having the Eerie Interlude, Divining Top is such a powerful card, especially opponent doesn't seem to have a lot of lands really going on right now. So, you know, keeping them off base mana-wise it feels worth it to me. You know, if they Divining Top every turn to get the land, you know, try to get the thing they need. By virtue of having the Mana Crypt and the Smothering Tithe, we're just having to play a dirty game now. Usually I don't play this dirty, but here we are. This is the mess we find ourselves in. We could strip mine something if we want to. We're drawing lands like crazy. You could really lock our opponents out. At the end step, both of our things coming back and get that Solemn Simulacrum trigger. It's turn 5, by the way. We have 8 lands in play, plus the Mana Crypt, plus 2 treasure tokens. It's absurd. Here's a Temple of the False God for fish. Does get them some mana ramp. I think they're still a little light on red mana, though. If we can get Gift of Immortality on this Solemn Simulacrum, things will get wild. Oh no, Comet Storm! No! Alright, looks like the fun might be over with Eldrazi Displacer. Opponent's just burning all the removal they've got on our stuff. Let us... How much mana do we have? That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can activate Displacer twice. So, I mean, I guess just keep blinking Solemn Simulacrum. Try to get all the lands out of our deck. It comes back, we get an ETB trigger. Get another land, get a Plains. And do the same thing again. One more ETB trigger. Get a Swamp. And... Oh, we could have milled someone with the Altar of Dementia. Can we bring back Priority? No. With Yawgmoth's Will, milling ourselves is actually probably going to be a good idea. So I wish I milled ourselves for 3 right there. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Displacer down. Still need a big draw. We pulled a lot of lands out of our deck, so that's good. Reduce the likelihood that we draw a land. Opponent's going to use the plus on Koth to make a mountain untapped. And they're going to send the mountain in our way. Yep, totally fair. We deserve this. No blocks. Down to 24. I mean, our life's starting to bleed a little bit. It's only turn 5. We're at 24. That's unusually low. Mana Crypt flip. Hope to keep winning these flips. Let's try heads in this one. I lost the flip. Boo. Crush Contraband. What does that do for us? Yeah, it's fine. I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point, but wasn't the card I was looking for. Play the Strip Mine. I guess we attack Koth, go to the, yeah, just attack Koth, and then go to the end step, put a counter on the Simulacrum. Koth down. End step, use Athreos, put a trigger on the Solemn Simulacrum. I still feel like it's a little bit too early for the Yawgmoth's Will. We're not about to end this game anytime soon, and I think there's still a lot of games to be played, so, you know, just going to want to keep that in the back pocket for a while. Hopefully no discard shows up. Wheels. Smothering Tithe trigger. Here comes an Acidic Slime. Opponent's talking about what target they wanted to go for. I think they settled on the Smothering Tithe. The Altar is actually a little bit more valuable to me right now. Yeah, it goes for the Smothering Tithe. I'm okay with that. We've already put a bunch of lands into play. Smothering Tithe down. Swift of Boots on the Acidic Slime. We could theoretically crush Contraband at some point, but again, we're not about to win anytime soon, so like might hold it for a second in case something really nasty shows up. There's a Fire and Ice in opponent's graveyard. Assumingly that means there's probably a Feast and Famine also. Yeah, it looks like they're doing kind of an equipment thing. Shadow Spear, yeah. So yeah, we'll hold the Crush Contraband until we find some really good targets. There's a Cryptghast. Ooh. Cryptghast does make mana. Cryptghast makes me think about the Playcrafter in our graveyard just a teeny bit more. Cryptghast is interesting in that the Extort ability with all of our lands right now is actually very good. Like Extort plus like Yawgmoth's Will, just cast anything, is a reasonable place to be. Man, as much as I want to keep just drawing with the Solemn Simulacrum, hopefully we can draw something that matters with Solemn Simulacrum right here so we can put a counter on the Cryptghast. Is this Drakuseth? Thran Dynamo. Not Drakuseth yet. 6 mana for opponent. Bloodsworn Steward. Okay, Drakuseth will have haste. Okie dokie. Alright. Might need to think about the Yawgmoth's Will right here. Go to the end step. Altar of Dementia ourselves. Sacrifice the Solemn Simulacrum. Athreos will trigger. Solemn Simulacrum will trigger. There's the Dies trigger. We draw a Shieldred. Shieldred's really good. Athreos will return the Solemn Simulacrum. Get another basic. Down to 2 basics in the deck. Mill 2. 2 lands. Oh, that's a big mill right there. We definitely don't need those. Brings it back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip on us. Let's go, Tails. Lost the flip. Ooh. Where's that Gray Merchant at? Oh, that's a Karmic Guide. Oh, my. Oh, my. Wow. Karmic Guide on Displacer. Blink Karmic Guide. Plaguecrafter? Oh, man. I wish we had a few more treasure tokens sticking around, honestly. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Means probably no Shieldred this turn. And use a black. Get a Karmic Guide. Oh, no! Opponent used a Withering Boon! Oh. Alright, that's the kind of game we're playing, huh? Slam Shieldred? Now, the problem is, there's... protecting Shieldred is probably, the safest bet right here. Shieldred will win you the game. Cryptghast is also really cool. I mean, but it's probably not about to die, like, just this second. Athreos on the Shieldred. Opponent will have to sacrifice a creature. Can someone kill that? Twice. Yeah, that's what Athreos asks you to do. You do have to kill him twice. Corpsejack Menace for our opponent, sure. Did I finish? I didn't finish introducing opponents, did I? Second up, we have Kiamlik 2 piloting Vilis, Broker of Blood. Vilis very good in the late game, but opponent really struggling with lands, although Cryptghast in play, so actually, Vilis could make an appearance relatively soon if we don't deal with the Cryptghast. Oh. Polukranos just came into play as a 12/12. No big deal. How much to fight? 3 to fight another creature. Next turn they can get down to the fighting, so we're going to have to stop that. Opponent sacrifices the Corpsejack Menace, gets themselves 2 black mana off of the Phyrexian Tower. Going to put some boots on the Polukranos. It has haste hexproof. It is 2 to equip. They thankfully seem to be 1 short of that. Oh yeah, coming in our way. Here comes a 12/12. No trample. That's good news. Definitely going to block with the Solemn Simulacrum. And then sacrifice Solemn Simulacrum to mill ourselves too. Draw with Solemn Simulacrum. We draw a land. Not great. We mill Vampiric Tutor and Knight of the White Orchid. Oh my. Bitter Blossom trigger for our opponent. Shieldred trigger. Sacrifice a token, make a token. There's an Urborg into play for our opponent. Makes 2 Urborgs. Good in case one player gets killed or Urborg gets shot. Shieldred does have Swamp Walk, and that's very relevant with 2 Urborgs in play. Here comes Vilis. Oh my. Vilis could go to the command zone, which doesn't help with our Athreos. So I think the next thing I really want is this Cryptghast. Right now, Polukranos is scheduled to die from the Shieldred. So as long as Shieldred can stick around, and mono red, if I guess they could have a Blasphemous Act, but would that kill? Would that kill this thing? If damage would be dealt to it, nope. So a Blasphemous Act would actually be a problem. Red board wipe, red removal on Shieldred. Although we have the counter on Shieldred, so I think we're okay. Still takes 2 pieces of removal. Oh no! Opponent just reanimated our Karmic Guide. That's okay. We can get Displacer back, and then what does opponent have in their graveyard? They're just trying to take it away from us. We can still get Displacer back, and then just blink Karmic Guide. That's fine. Opponent loses some life to the reanimate, and Vilis draws a bunch of cards. That's the thing that happened. Okay, so doing it for the card draw more than anything, I think, because that'll be what, 5? It's like 5 cards right there off the reanimate life loss, and they can still activate Vilis 1 time. Yeah. Opponent's going to target our Shieldred with Vilis, make it -1/-1 until end of turn. No big deal. Just getting themselves some more card draw, which is the bigger deal of that whole scenario, but... Alright, so we just need Shieldred to make it back to our turn. 2 tokens coming in our way. We're at 17. We're going to need to think about some life gain at some point here. None currently available to us. We could theoretically Vampiric Tutor for something if we Yawgmoth's Will. We have Gray Merchant. Ooh, we have Grey Merchant. It's pretty much all the life gain we need. We could get Micaeus also. And, well, Micaeus doesn't just end the game. But, yeah. This seems like a miserable experience for opponents, so, you know. See if we can wrap this up kind of quickly. I'm thinking like maybe 2 turns. This turn to do all the reanimating stuff because we're going to have to deal with Vilis and some other things over there. Here comes Drakuseth into play. Yep. Think opponent just banking that hopefully someone's going to deal with Shieldred. They could Chaos Warp on Shieldred is what they could do, but we still have the Altar of Dementia. So, Altar of Dementia, target ourselves, sacrifice Shieldred. That was a pretty solid play out of Fish right there, I won't lie. They still need someone else to, like, get rid of Shieldred, but it does remove the counter, and I was looking to try to get the counter on other things right here. So Chaos Warp fizzles, what do we mill? We mill Ravenous Chupacabra, seems relevant. Utter End, Misfell Plains, Demonic Tutor, Thaumatic Compass, yeah, mostly stuff that don't really need. Chupacabra is the only one that's particularly relevant. So brings it back to our turn, Shieldred trigger. Let's get the Eldrazi Displacer. Mana Crypt flip on us. Let's go heads, 1 the flip. We draw another land, bounce land. Alright. Blink Karmic Guide with the Eldrazi Displacer. Karmic Guide, get back Plaguecrafter. Don't really want to leave it to chance, like something could theoretically happen to Shieldred, so we'll Plaguecrafter 1 time. That gets rid of Polukranos and Drakuseth, even though Shieldred could theoretically do it, but you're just playing it safe. We need to sacrifice a permanent. It is going to be the Plaguecrafter. Use Eldrazi Displacer on Karmic Guide once again. Karmic Guide, get back Ravenous Chupacabra. Shoot Vilis. We can actually do some attacking now, which I like. I guess this is a good time to play the tap land. Play the Basilica. We'll return a swamp. And next turn, I think we set up for the Yawgmoth's Will, Demonic Tutor. Or do we just do it now? How much is it? It's 3. Yeah, let's do it next turn, I think. We can actually do some attacking right here, which I think is meaningful. Send in Shieldred to Kiamlik. We'll send in Athreos as well. Leave the other 2 back. See if we can't get some life totals moving a little bit. Opponent's gonna block Opponent's gonna block the Athreos with a fairy. Yep, suspected as much. Athreos end step trigger. I'm gonna go on the Cryptghast right here because if we lose any of our stuff, we can just Yawgmoth's Will it back to play. Also, the order in which things get killed, we could theoretically just use Eldrazi Displacer and Karmic Guide. Ooh, opponent's gonna Nature's Claim on our sack outlet. That is good. We doing anything about it right now? Don't think so. Don't think so. I think at the end step, I'm going to shoot the Cryptghast with Ravenous Chupacabra because I don't want opponent to have all that mana. Oops. Nope, that's not what we want to do. Almost misclicked. Eldrazi Displacer on the Chupacabra. Chupacabra, shoot the Cryptghast. Athreos will trigger. Brings it into play under our control. There's some life gain also. Ooh, that's a Cabal Coffers for opponent with an Urborg in play. Our Strip Mine is tapped currently. We use the colorless mana, so they'll get a crack at some mana right here. Could be a board wipe. Board wipe would slow us down, I think. Temporal Extortion. You know what? I'll pay the life. We're at 19, so like, you know. Does life matter? Yeah, life matters, but I'd rather opponent didn't take an extra turn. They paid 4 mana to do 10 damage, so Soul Ring for opponent, sure. Ooh, that's a Deluge. Okay, what do we do right here? Oh, what do we do? We Displacer, Karmic Guide. Ideally, we would make Athreos not a creature right here. Do we have any way to sack stuff? Doesn't look like it. So let's... Oh, our mana is doubled. Oh my. Oh my. Forgot about that. All swamps are doubled, is that right? Yep, that makes 2. Okay. Here's a colorless. Let's blink Karmic Guide 1 time. Get back Solemn Simulacrum. What is our current devotion? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We would have to shoot 2 creatures, I think. I don't know if we can do that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to shoot 2 creatures right here. So just get all of our basics. Anything else that matters? Don't think so. 1 more Solemn Simulacrum. Get the last basic. Do we crush Contraband right here? I don't know. I think I'm just going to keep holding it. We get to draw a card. It's a Vault of the Archangel. Lifelink theoretically helpful. Peace and Famine coming down for our opponent. Feast and Famine is worth shooting. I guess we can use the Crush Contraband now. Get the Feast and Famine, get the Bitter Blossom. Feast and Famine is definitely worth hitting, especially with Cabal Coffers. Bad news right here would be wheel out of the red opponent. If we lose the Yawgmoth's Will, then things will go poorly. Drakuseth back in. Yep. I'm okay with that. Mana Crypt flip. Would like to win this. Let's go, Tails. Won the flip. Cool. Phyrexian Tower. That's a sack outlet. Might need that extra mana. Play the Phyrexian Tower. I think it's time for Yawgmoth's Will. So, Yawgmoth's Will resolves. Let's Demonic Tutor. Let's hopefully I put like a Rise of the Dark Realms in this deck. That would make life pretty easy for us. What do we got? We can get anything we want. Runescar Demon, Mikaeus, Toxic, Rise of the Dark Realms is in fact in the deck. That probably makes the most sense. The one thing that doesn't do is get us the Grey Merchant, which we kind of need. We could Vampiric Tutor. So if we went for just Grey Merchant, it's 5 to play Grey Merchant. We could play, but we only have 2 Devotion to Black, so like, yeah. I think it's just Rise of the Dark Realms time. Oh, I didn't even look to see what's in opponents' graveyards. There's probably some stuff there. There's an Acidic Slime. All right. Karmic Guide, no legal targets. Solemn Simulacrum, also no legal targets. Ravenous Chupacabra, shoot the Drakuseth. Plague Crafter. We will Acidic Slime on the Cabal Coffers. Oh, I've got it. All right. So Plague Crafter trigger on the stack. Let's Vampiric Tutor. That'll extort. Not gonna extort. Gonna try to get the Grey Merchant right here. Haven't worked out if we actually have the mana to do it. Get Grey Merchant. Plague Crafter. We have to sacrifice a creature. Sacrifice a Solemn Simulacrum. We do have the mana to do it. Sacrifice Solemn Simulacrum. Opponent discards a Journey to Eternity. Oh, we didn't draw. It doesn't draw. Oh, because it goes to exile. All right, we're going to have to survive a turn then. Acidic Slime trigger happens. Ravenous Chupacabra, no legal targets. Solemn Simulacrum, we're going to click no to this one. Oh, I never play with Yawgmoth's Will. Yep, that's the thing that happens. This one has haste because it's a commander and the Bloodthorn Steward is in play. We've got a little bit of extra mana floating. We can extort, which is probably a good idea. I don't think most of these ETBs don't actually do that much, I don't think. So let's go Altar of Dementia. Use the colorless. Extort one time. Brings us back up to 10. A little bit safer. We have a way to generate any more mana. Not that I'm seeing. And now we got to kill Kiamlik because they've drawn the most cards and seem to be putting up the most fight. So Polukranos into them. Anything else with haste? No, not so much. We have a play left. I'm going to get the Thaumatic Compass out of our graveyard. That seems like a good one to have. We'll sacrifice his Burnish Heart since we have no basics left. Kiamlik goes down. Yeah, Polukranos with the Steward. Pretty nasty. Thaumatic Compass will flip over. Keeps us from getting attacked to death. Although there are boots in play. But opponent doesn't have their commander, and that seems pretty important. Land for opponent. Cracks a land. Board wipe. Yeah, board wipe is bad for us. We'd lose everything, and then we're just on Grey Merchant with like no real backup plan. I guess Grey Merchant, sack outlet, Athreos, which is very, very slow. Shield would trigger, no targets for opponent. Oh, it's the Blasphemous Act! It is the Blasphemous Act. Polukranos will survive. Okay. We can still kill things with Polukranos. Yeah, a bunch of things go down. Oh no, Polukranos doesn't survive. Is that combat damage only? Where did Polukranos go? Went to opponent's graveyard. Mana Crypt flip on us. Ouch. Oh, Bloodthorn Steward left the battlefield. Let's try Tails in the Mana Crypt. Won the flip. Whew. Now things are scary. Opponents could win. There's the Grey Merchant. Grey Merchant, like, doesn't do that much right here since we don't have tons of things in play. Get the Vault of the Archangel. Gonna need that one. Why do we have two Oh, Blinkmoth Urn. Right, okay. Get Vault of the Archangel. Athreos. We've drawn a lot of lands this game. Ooh, opponent's gonna destroy our spires. Savage. Let's play the Grey Merchant. And we've got a Grey Merchant of Asphodel. We could die if opponent brings back Polukranos. Suits up these two? That's a real problem. Athreos going to put a coin counter on Grey Merchant. Does this give trample? Of course it gives trample. Ooh, we might die. We might die. Oh, Polukranos. To escape Polukranos takes 6 mana. which, let's see, 4, 5, 6. No, opponent can still equip both equipments to it. Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad. This is gonna be rough. Yep, here comes Polukranos. Exiles most of the things in their graveyard. Ooh, Corpse Shack Menace. Still in the graveyard. Yep, here comes the boots. It's a 12-12. Here comes the spear. It's a 13-13. Don't completely understand where all of opponents' mana came from, but somehow they have a lot of mana. Oh, Castle Garenbrig, that's where, of course. Green cards. Anyway, opponent's coming in for 13. That's most of our life. We will need to block. Block? I don't think it's going to do anything, but I'm going to activate Vault of the Archangel just in case. I'm pretty sure the damage just gets prevented, and we don't gain the life or anything, but, you know. You never know, right? So we go down to 7. Does cut back the size on Polukranos a little bit. Grey Merchant comes back. We gain a little bit of life, back up to 13. Okay, okay. Not dead just yet. See what Fish has got for us. We're no longer protected against Drakuseth, so if they just cast Drakuseth this turn, untap and attack, it's a problem. It's a problem. Probably should have held the Crush Contraband longer, honestly. Fish is making a lot of mana over there. No cards in hand, so they played a land. Yeah, just going for their commander. Seems good enough. Double Drakuseth triggers will kill us. Big draw. Big draw. Mana Crypt flip. Won the flip. Ashen Rider is a big draw. Blinkmoth Urn will trigger. Ashen Rider might be, like, the best big draw that we could have, like, hoped for, really. I don't actually know if it gets that much better than that. Play the Ashen Rider. Oh, the choices. Drakuseth is a big problem. The Shadow Spear is a big problem. The Shadow... Oh, we have... Athreos is now a creature, which is a lot more blocking power. So I think we have to go Drakuseth first. Because, like, if Drakuseth... Yeah, if Drakuseth with Strionic is a real big problem. Playland. The question right here is, who do we put the counter on? Oh, probably Ashen, because it... When it enters the battlefield or dies, yeah, okay. That exiles many more things. Oh, we could have did some attack. It's probably not worth doing any attacking right here. So Athreos on Ashen Rider. So now opponent can't really attack because we just block. And then we exile like the spear and other good things. But if they have some removal, that could change the equation also. I guess we can also sack at any time if we need to. Strip Mine into play for our opponent. Days on Vault of the Archangel might be limited. Now into turn 11. This game's been going. It went a lot longer than I thought. Fish had the big Blasphemous Act against our Rise of the Dark Realms play, and I was really trying to end it right there because I know this game's got to be pretty miserable. Ooh, hey now. Grey Merchant of Asphodel is going to fight Polukranos. Yeah, that makes me sad. If we... Oh, I don't think we can resolve the triggers in the right order to make Ashen Rider do the thing we want it to do. But... Grey Merchant will still tick down. Might as well just do this. Yeah, Grey Merchant will still tick down the power on Polukranos a little bit, and I think that's relevant. Yeah, Polukranos down to a 9/9. But Athreos no longer a creature, and that's a good source of blocking right there. Probably going to take a lot longer to win this game without Grey Merchant. Let's find out other ways that we can get it back. Revelark is in our deck. Revelark gets back Karmic Guide. We have a sack outlet. Okay, yeah, that would win the game. So Revelark's card we're looking for, 55 cards left in our deck. Pulled out many lands. Ooh, opponent's gonna fight the Ashen Rider. I think this actually works out for us. So Ashen Rider gets a dies trigger. Oh, maybe it's still not gonna work out the way we want it to. Put the Athreos trigger on the bottom. Then Ashen Rider trigger on the Shadow Spear. Seems like a major problem. Shadow Spear down. Now it's a 3/3. Now it's not that scary. Ashen Rider back to play. Okay. Now we just shoot the boots? Yeah, shoot the boots. And these are all exiled, so cool. And now they can't go anywhere with it. Opponent's going to strip mine our Phyrexian Tower. That's fine, actually. Vault of the Archangel is the one I really want to keep this moment. Ooh, damnation. Crap. We got some choices here. We can exile Castle Garenbrig, which is a pretty good source of mana, or the Strionic Resonator. We have a Strip Mine still, so I guess I'm going to go with Strionic Resonator. It's getting late, opponent has mana, and that has the ability to beat us if they just find any sort of second trigger on something. Each player with one card in hand. Revelark off the top. Maybe Blinkmoth was the right call. Do they have enough without it? Probably not. It's died a couple times, right? Yep, here comes Drakuseth. I don't know how we're getting out of this. Back to our turn. Mana Crypt flip. Tails. Won the flip. That's big. Means Drakuseth doesn't just kill us. Anguished Unmaking. Alright. Can't do much. Need a creature. Play the swamp. Shoot the Garenbrig. Pass turn. We get to put a coin counter on Drakuseth. Blinkmoth Urn triggers. And that's a Demonic Tutor. That's how you win this game. I don't have a second Mass Reanimate spell in the deck. Probably needs a Living Death, so we're really on Revelark. Yeah, there's a lot of cards in this deck that aren't good right here. Here comes Demonic Tutor. The Gitrog monster. Oh, man. It's probably good enough. We'd love to put a coin counter on it and steal it, but, oh, man. Actually, we can survive one hit to Drakuseth. We can't if we don't win the Mana Crypt flip. Because Drakuseth plus the 4 is 11. Ooh. Oh, man. Well, here comes Boot, so I guess we just have to shoot it when they do the thing. Oh, but even shooting it? Yeah, we just have to. We just have to. Hopefully they can't recast it. Oh, even the 3 life. 3 life would also be a problem for us, too, in the Anguished Unmaking. That's 8, 9, 10, 11? I don't know how many times Drakuseth's been cast. They're just passing, so I think that's good. We live to fight another day. Mana Crypt flip. Tails. Won the flip. Mikaeus. There's some mana. Play Mikaeus. Not enough to animate our creature. Seems like a problem. Athreos trigger on the Gitrog, I guess. Yeah, that way if they attack us, we Vault of the Archangel, and then we get control of the Gitrog. Gitrog gets an upkeep trigger. Oh, I would so go for an upkeep trigger on a Gitrog right now. So many lands. This lands from anywhere? Whenever one or more lands put in your graveyard from anywhere. Seems pretty good with the Altar of Dementia. We have 16 lands in play currently, plus 7 lands in our graveyard. That's 23 lands. That still means there's about a third of the lands left in the deck. Ancient Tomb for our opponent. Yeah, they've got a lot of life. Doesn't seem like it'll be a problem for him. Sky Shroud claim. Opponent plays a Hyena's Growth. What does this do? Enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on enchanted creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of counters on it. Opponent's swinging in. All right, well, we're going to have to block with Mikaeus, and I think stealing the Gitrog is the right call. Use Vault of the Archangel. They trade. We gain 5 life, back up to 15. Gitrog back to play on our side. Everyone with 0 cards in hand. Opponent forgot about the Vault. Yep, that was the one they meant to strip mine. Yeah, that would have been really good. Yeah. We've gotten the benefit of opponents mistargeting with 2 of the removal spells. The strip mine on Vault of the Archangel was one of them. The other one was not shooting the Altar of Dementia earlier and going for the Smothering Tithe instead. By that point, we had so much mana that like Smothering Tithe wasn't really the thing. Altar of Dementia is definitely much more the combo piece than Smothering Tithe was doing for us in that moment. Well, all right, this is all going to go away. Ruination, destroy all non-basic lands. Oh, what? Oh, Fish just made a boo-boo. We're going to draw so many cards. We get a Gitrog trigger. We only draw 1? Why did we only draw 1? Oh, 1 or more. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Still trims us back, but Drakuseth's not coming back into play. We draw a Westvale Abbey, probably the least helpful thing right now. Oh, man. Who knows if that should be in the deck. I'm sure I copied this mana base over. Champion scoops it. He can't do anything. Yeah, that's fine. Fish and I are kind of in a battle of like, oh no, he scoops it. Gitrog's gone. Oh no. We could just die to Mana Crypt before we do anything. How much life to make a soldier? 1 life? Lost the flip. Ooh. Ooh. Mana Crypt. Grave Titan. Oh, Grave Titan can win this game. Alright, play Westvale Abbey. Play Grave Titan. Get 2 zombies. We might be able to flip an Ormondal. I think I've only ever done that 1 time, maybe 0 times. That's not something that I do very often. I just don't play the decks that allow you to flip an Ormondal. Today might be the day. Opponent gets some mana off of the Blinkmoth Urn. Repercussion. Uh-oh. Board wipe is a problem. Oh, I have an idea. I think we can flip Ormondal right here. Opponent's out of cards, so this should all work. Go to the end step. Westvale Abbey. Make a token. Athreos, altar on... We'll target fish with this one. Sacrifice the Grave Titan. Altar of Dementia will happen. Athreos will happen. Grave Titan happens. Altar of Dementia will mill. Yeah, now we've got 5 things. We should be able to flip over the Ormondal. Yeah, all right. 5 creatures, huh? Mana Crypt flip on us, still at 11. Let's see what happens after this flip. Tails, won the flip, staying at 11. Cool. Here's a land, didn't need that. Blinkmoth Urn, Isolated Chapel. Flip Ormondal, sacrifice 5 creatures. There's an Ormondal, it's indestructible. I feel pretty good that that one's going to stick around against a red deck. Chaos Warp already gone. Send in both. More zombies. Wow, this game's had everything. Land Destruction, Ormondal, Smothering Tithe, Insanity, Voltron. This has been a game. Athreos trigger on Grave Titan. Opponent goes down to 17, we're up to 20. Big play from our opponent right here. I don't know what you do. The Ormondal is a big problem for a red deck. Actually, they still got Repercussion. Board wipe, still a problem. They scoop it right there. Wow, what a game. Oh my. All right. So, yeah, this game, little bit of everything. We got to see some cool stuff. We got out to a huge lead and then just ran out of gas. We didn't have the card draw to refill. So, you know, opponents had their chances in there, and we just used some small things to try to keep them off balance. We shot a Burnish Heart, which was like super dick move, but that's how you keep a Drakuseth from killing you. And then we just, you know, we used removal as we needed to try to keep pieces away from our opponents. And, you know, through a long sequence of events, able to get there. There were points toward the end where I thought we were dead. Once the Rise of the Dark Realms got board wiped, then we were out of gas and, you know, really had to fight, had a top deck well. That Ashen Rider was huge. Losing the Ashen Rider hurt a lot. But yeah, so many things. Probably need to add a Living Death to this deck. That seemed like it was missing in action pretty hard. I don't know what we're getting rid of, but probably a 6-drop. We don't even have that many 6-drops, honestly. Got 6 6-drops, 6 7-drop. That's like not a ton. Maybe Decree of Pain. Love Decree of Pain. It's card draw. It's also removal, but it's really slow. Decree of Pain out. You know what I want in the deck? I really kind of want Krav and Regnant in the deck, at least Krav, because Krav is a sack outlet that draws you cards and gains you life. And those are all good things. Yeah, let's get Regnant too. Who's coming out? We do need to get rid of something somewhere. The Elspeth Who Conquers Death is, like, cool, but it's a little slow at 5. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. It feels clunky. Feels very, very clunky. Especially in a deck that's already clunky. If our deck had a lower curve, I think it would work a lot better. Right now, I've got this Intrepid Hero in the deck. I still want to try that one out. I think it's a really cute trick. So the idea of this is that you go to the end step, you put a coin counter on an opponent's creature, a big one, and then you just use Intrepid Hero to kill it at some point and then gain control of it. We'll see. It's a little cute, but I think it could work. Probably have to get rid of Debtor's Knell. I love Debtor's Knell, but it's so slow. Now, in this game, if we landed a Debtor's Knell, probably wins us the game, but Debtor's Knell is not a card that I would call reliable in any sense. So, the one thing we could have used too, I don't think is in the deck, is Volrath's Stronghold in the deck. It is not. That is one that would have helped us. We could have gotten Karmic Guide back and got back to the insanity that we were doing early on. Let's get rid of a land here. Get rid of... We could have used an Emeria in this game. Like, that's a question. Because we can do shenanigans with Solemn Simulacrum and Core Cartographer, probably want Emeria in this deck. Make sure we have enough planes to activate it. So bring in Emeria. I guess get rid of the Basilica. Basilica's slow, but it is like 2 lands in 1. We can live without Mana Confluence. Still 38 lands. Probably come down 1 right here. Let's get rid of... I guess just a Swamp. But I try to keep my basics high. There are currently 5 planes in the deck, plus a Misfail planes. Ooh, that means you need to be exact with to get a Maria online. It's not amazing. I think I'm just going to pull out 1 fetch. We'll get rid of the Arid Mesa. Anyway, yeah. So this deck is slow. It's made to go late, but it also wasn't great at closing things out in the late game. And that's where, like, you know, that's where I think Krav and Regna, if you get those late, one finds the other, and then ridiculous things start to happen, and that's how you win a game. So I think they'll help give a little bit more late game push, because we were kind of stuck toward the end there, really just kind of living off the top of our deck. Wouldn't mind some more card draw in the deck. We never saw Phyrexian Arena. Probably could put Necropotence in the deck too. Left that one out. Multicolor, triple black, early, you know, it's a thing. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.